Hi there, my name is Sarah Smith and I will be presenting my persuasive speech to my audience Cadence Lapuza and my husband Jordan Smith. Light pollution, the blinding truth. Did you know wasted outdoor lighting in the US generates about 15 million tons of carbon dioxide into our atmosphere every single year? That's about 40,000 tons per day, or the CO2 equivalent of about 3 million cars. You would need to plant 875 million trees annually to offset that amount of carbon dioxide. Light pollution is a global issue we need to address due to its effects on the environment, human health, and wildlife behavior. I have done extensive research on light pollution and have been an advocate to many family and friends over the past few years to reduce light pollution within our state of Nebraska. Today, we will discuss the global issues we face regarding light pollution and what you can do to change the adverse effects through a detailed course of action. As defined by the International Dark Sky Association, the IDA, light pollution is an unnecessary amount of lights, typically lights at night, that washes out the night sky. The IDA is an organization known for fighting light pollution within cities, states, and many countries. Their overall mission is to protect the night sky and to help control the spread of the poor quality lighting. About a century ago, stars and galaxies were once noticeable to the human eye. When viewing the night sky, stars are hardly visible to the human eye anymore, even when using high-powered telescopes. According to the National Geographic World in 2001, on nights that the moon is less lit, people should see over 2,500 stars. However, the human eye can only see up to about 100 stars now. This causes astronomical issues for stargazers and astronomers who research the solar system. There are 4 leading causes associated with light pollution. Glare is the most predominant issue. Glare comes from street lights and security lights that shine directly into one's face. Sky glow is the intense amount of light expelling into the atmosphere that cannot escape. Light sources near and far project all excess light upward are the causes. Light cluster is cluster groupings of light from cities and populated areas, such as downtown Omaha. Lastly, lights that illuminate buildings, car dealerships, public garages, and homes is a significant problem. According to the 2009 Journal of Environmental Health, Getting Serious About Light Pollution, numerous amounts of lights that are non-LED are known to cause reactions to the retina. As you can see here, the blue light directing towards the eyeball causes permanent damage. You can see this is the permanent damage here from the light source, blue or white LED. The pineal gland produces melatonin, which is crucial for regulating hormones such as estrogen and testosterone. Also, melatonin may act directly to inhibit replication of cancer cells. People who expose themselves to blue light, a very short wavelength that produces higher amount of energy at night, increases their chance of having vision and sleeping issues. Blue light is known in most electronic devices, such as cell phones, computers, televisions, and also video game consoles. In 2012, the American Medical Association acknowledged the importance of the issue and stated light pollution is a carcinogen, a substance that can produce cancerous cells. This artificial light that humans are exposed to account for up to 30% of breast cancer cases in women and double prostate cancer risk in men. Now that we have discussed the need and the problem, let's look at the solution. With your help, light pollution can and will be reduced with relative ease. Environmental effects due to light pollution have been an ongoing battle to overcome many animals and insects' death. In Chicago, Illinois, the IDA has already implemented a program called Lights Out, intending to shut the lights off between August to November, starting from 11 p.m. each night at businesses and 1 a.m. for lakefront homes and entertainment industries. This program aims to help over 5 million migrating birds get to their destination each year. According to the 2019 article, Light Pollution Poses Threats to Migrating Birds, the IDA states that a recent study estimates that between 100 million and 1 billion birds are killed in the United States each year as a result with collisions with buildings. Given that most songbirds migrate at night, it is no surprise that light pollution is a significant contributing factor to the harm of these birds. In Florida, the Wildlife Commission requires amber-colored lights alongside beaches. Hatching turtles have been found scattered across highways due to following bright lights in the city. As you can see, there's bright lights over here, and they're following the direction to that instead of going to the ocean where the moon should be lighting their way to start their lives in the ocean. Light pollution has a vacuum cleaner effect, meaning that bright lights at night, specifically street lights or safety lights, attract an abundant amount of insects, luring them to their death, and also becoming a food source for birds, spiders, and bats. Insects are essential to our planet for pollinating plants and flowers. Some may argue that switching from non-LED lighting to LED would cost too much money. However, consultants at a firm known as Navigant in Chicago, Illinois, have estimated that the US alone could save roughly 662 trillion British thermal units, which is the energy that is needed to power 5.8 million US homes annually. From sunset to sunrise fixtures, such as security lights, are expensive to operate continuously. A security light that's on all night, every night, will cost you about $1 annually for every 2 watts of power used. For example, a 200-watt fixture will run up your electricity bill by about $100 per year. Now that we have discussed the solution, let's examine the benefits and the consequences of following our call to action. The issues associated with light pollution will escalate more quickly as the years pass. We need to be implementing changes that will minimize the effects light pollution has on our planet, ecosystem, and human health. The good news is that light pollution is readily within our grasp to control. As you can see here, I have a map provided, and according to Cinzanzo, the growth of light pollution in the US from the late 1950s to the 1990s showed what light pollution looked like in the US. And this is a prediction of what light pollution will look like in just a few years, in 2025. As you can see, it's getting quite bigger around the US and also in many other countries. While much of the public is aware of the concept of light pollution, its ill effects and influences on society and nature are less clear to most people. Research has repeatedly proven that light pollution is destructive on the earth, and the results are devastating. With that said, let's all take the time to check the light fixtures and bulbs we are using inside and outside our home. Depending on the size of your home, this procedure shouldn't take longer than 10 minutes. If your light fixtures are shielded, which would look something like this, this is the best kind of lighting. All these other lightings are not very good for the environment and expelling light pollution throughout our atmosphere. This is with non-shielded lighting. As you can see, it brightens up the entire sky. With shielded light fixtures just like this, obviously you can see the Milky Way right here much, much better. So check if your light fixtures are shielded, face downward, while inspecting the types of bulbs that you are using. The best kind of bulbs to use are warm color temperatures below 3000 K, and make sure the packaging says energy efficient light bulbs. During the night, minimize light usage by merely turning off unneeded light fixtures that you and your family may be using. Keep your blinds and curtains shut to keep the light indoors. And suppose you have any friends or family who live in the state of Florida, where millions of hatching sea turtles die each year. Persuade them to start using red amber toned LED lights, as these bulbs don't emit light bright enough to confuse and misdirect them. If you live in the city, turn the lights off starting from 11 p.m. so migrating birds have a fighting chance to survive. Lastly, remember blue emitting lights are incredibly harmful to our health. You are only doing yourself a favor by not using your phones, TVs, laptops, and other electronic devices at night. With only having one plan of action in Nebraska, it is time for us to make a change, a difference in our present and future generations by minimizing light pollution.